Keeping an eye on a busy week in politics, the Florida governor's race continues to heat up between Governor Rick Scott and former Governor Charlie Crists. And in Gainesville, the Veterans Hospital, caught up in the nationwide VA scandal, is under scrutiny from the agency's acting director. To break down all the latest, I'm joined now by our political contributor, Trimmel Gomes. And Trimmel, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, as always.
We're going to start tonight with the governor's race. Does anything stand out about Charlie Crists, his tax returns?
Well, with his tax returns being out today, he put it out today, it shows that he's now officially a millionaire. So that's the big change with the release of his tax returns.
All right, and why do some people think the issue is unsettled?
Well, what's going on, what we're seeing here in this big tug-of-war, the fight over tax returns, it's basically each camp, they're trying to show each other as, like, you know, basically being out of touch from voters with having this exorbitant amount of finances. But when you're comparing Charlie Crists' finances to Governor Scott, which is upwards into the $133 million compared to his now $1.2 million or so, it's just a stark difference. So it's just trying to show and paint each other as being more out of touch with voters. Okay,
and when it comes to the election in November, how are the personal finances going to play out?
Well, that's where it comes in. They want to show, like, you know, hey, I'm more relatable to the working class, but it's something that it's tried and true. We've seen it all along on national scale. Like, you know, you don't want to show that you're making an exorbitant amount of money, but that's really not what's going to touch on voters, in my opinion. You really need to get down on the issues. What are you going to do for me when you're in office or when you're holding that seat? So both sides, they may need to tweak their tactic on this front.
Okay, and moving now to the VA scandal in Florida, the Gainesville facility. What stands out about that particular facility?
Well, as we were talking about the big VA scandal showing, like, you know, mismanagement issues and the long wait times. What happened today with the acting secretary, he actually came down to Gainesville today. What we were seeing in that facility were people waiting 50 days to be seen by a doctor. So that's why that facility was getting so much attention. And hopefully this will be the turnaround. And that's basically what he announced today. They're turning around and turning that facility into, like, you know, what it's supposed to do, which is acting better and looking out for the nations and our regional veterans.
All right, Trimmel, thanks so much for shedding that insight, as always. And Trimmel joins us every week to break down the latest in politics from Florida, Georgia, and Washington right here on the News at 6. Well, there's